Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Proud American Patriot, otherwise known as TAP. Um, this isn't the way I wanted to have my first episode. Don't have everything set up the way I want it to, don't have anything scripted out for this, but today was a bad day. It was a bad day for all of us, and not just those of us on the right, for all of us as Americans. It was a bad day. Um, we lost someone who is or was, I should say, I guess, a, a true American, and not just because he was on the right or a conservative, because he loved the country, he wanted what was best for the country, and he didn't need to belittle people or insult them or put them down or anything like that to get his point across. I've seen hours upon hours of his debates, whether it's at a college campus or whether it's against someone who is a professional debater. And he always gave them grace. He always treated them with respect, even when he didn't get it in return. I'm gonna shoot off the cuff here just some and just rip, and it's gonna go where it's gonna go at this point. Like I said, I don't have anything scripted out for this. I haven't had a chance to sit down and really even truly collect my thoughts on what what happened, what I want to say, what I should say, and not that I should say anything or I have to, but it's it's a rough day. I mean, we lost, for those of us that are conservatives, we lost one of the best voices we had. Very few are in that class that Charlie was in, as far as being able to articulate his points, knowing different pieces and information, and being able to recall it at will. As a counterpoint or a point, he he was a master at what he did, and again, he did it with grace. He did it with respect. I the fact that someone doesn't agree with him or with anyone. I mean, it doesn't have to be him. And doesn't agree with anyone. And their solution is to get a gun and shoot that person is completely and totally insane. I, for me at least, I don't think it's that we just lost one of our great voices and a great person that loved God, his country, and his family. We lost humanity today, I think. And I honestly feel like that. I think that as the days have gone on, for the last 10, 15, 20 years, we've been losing our humanity. And that's not a pretty thing. It's not a good thing. The left will say it's, they'll pull up the whole, well, you don't want gun control. It has nothing to do with gun control. It has to do with being a human being, and a civil human being. He never once tried to hurt anyone. He may have tried to educate people. He may have expressed his point, his views, but not once did he ever try to harm anyone. So, like I said, it's our humanity is at this point. I don't know if it's going to come back. And the bad thing, the sad thing is, this happened in large part because of rhetoric coming from the leadership on the left, the mainstream media, the right is nothing but a bunch of fascists. The right is, they want a dictator, they're Nazis, they're this, they're that. All that does is dehumanize people. And unfortunately, There are several people in this country that are soft-minded and aren't right in the head. They're going to hear that and think it's right, and you know what? They're not a human, so why not go in and get a rifle or a handgun or whatever it is and shoot them? Because they're not human. They don't matter. Well, that's wrong. They are human. And I don't care if this was someone of prominence on the left, I'd be saying the exact same thing. Probably wouldn't be able to talk to their grace as much or them being respectful. But yeah, I'd be saying the same thing. That's not the way to solve civil discourse. That's not how you go about expressing ideas. And that's the only way we as a country can come together, is expressing ideas. Yeah, we might not always agree, but that's why you talk. Give me your side, I'll give you my side. Maybe we'll find common ground somewhere. That's something else that Charlie was big on, is finding common ground with someone. But you know that's gone now, at least for him, and that olive branch that he would stick out, because some jackass thought that this would be the right thing to do, and I'll show them. I'll take out Charlie Kirk. Well, you know what? You did, and now the rest of the country has to suffer for it. Because, like him or not, he was a good man. He loved God. He feared God. He loved this country, and he loved his family. You know, not only people that he's touched in life and communicated with and explained things and that he let into his life, even if it was just for a few minutes. He has a young wife and two very young children that now don't have him. But you know, I guess that's something that some of the people on the left think is completely fine. You know, back to the losing of humanity. I I will tell you, I spent a good bit of time on social media after this happened, in between other things I had to do today. And this is where I think we've lost humanity. The left has gone so far overboard, and not the left that I grew up with, the left from when I was younger, that they wanted what was best for America and they were willing to work with the right. The right was willing to work with them and find out what was best. I'm talking about the far left, the crazy left. They are one step short of Hamas right after October 7th. I mean, the only thing they haven't done is got the guns out and go out in the streets and start shooting them in the air. I have never seen celebration like this over the fact that a human being was assassinated. His life was taken. And they're celebrating this. You know, if that's humanity, I guess at this point maybe count me out. I just don't want to be part of it then. Because I don't care who it is, whether I agree with them philosophically, politically, anything. There are very few people in this world that deserve to have that happen to them. And the ones that do deserve to have that happen to them, I think we'd probably all agree they deserve to have that happen to them. But no, the left has become unhinged. They have, at least a lot of them I've seen since this happened, have, and even before with things that they've been saying about President Trump, they have lost their humanity. They have no remorse, no, you know, they're the party of tolerance and acceptance and kindness. There is none of that. I have, in the last year plus, I haven't seen any of that from them. You know, and it's sad. It's sad. I don't know if we get back to where we came from. I don't know if we get back to being a country that we can maybe not agree, but we can still be civil to each other. That may be gone. that may just be something that, unfortunately, my kids, your kids, depending on how old they are, don't get to experience as adults. But no, I am deeply saddened. One, that someone assassinated Charlie Kirk, and two, that I've seen what humanity is becoming, and I think today really, really brought it to the forefront. Um, as I said, this isn't how I wanted my first episode to be. I do have plans to start putting videos out there, sharing my thoughts, sharing my views, talking about what's going on in the world and how I see it, what we can maybe do to be better people. But I felt that after today, I had to sit down, ramble here for 10, 15 minutes, just put my thoughts out there, say what I think. Um, I'll do a intro video sometime here in the near future where I'll talk about what the channel is going to be. But until then, only thing I ask is to keep Charlie Kirk, his family, his friends, the people that worked with him at Young America Foundation, and everyone that he worked with, because he didn't care if you were left or right. He cared what you were as a person, and again, he didn't care if the two of you didn't agree. He would hope you could find some common ground somewhere. But that's all for now. I've rambled on enough. Everyone just be good to each other. That's what I want to see. Have a good night.